room. As this guy, like, I remember, what was it? It was like Worlds a couple of years back. Dracos just really having a great time commentating some of this guy's Aphelios. He is incredibly good at this champion. He was known for it. And when Aphelios was first played this season by Gumayushi, I was like, Dogdom, where is it, mate?
Yep, and now we get to see it. The Alistar will just get picked into it. Not too much of a surprise, especially in the Nautilus. But the Nautilus as well makes a lot of sense. You know, we talked about the Vi not being picked up. Nautilus has that point-and-click CC as an answer. I think the Aphelios Nautilus is a good pickup into what has been taken. A lot of team fighting power for KT. I am just a little bit concerned about what we've seen Viper be able to do in general. And this composition very much feels like setting him up, right? We have the mid laner who has the roaming potential to lean down towards bot. We have the Ornn into the Rumble. Really strong front line. And that pick that we've just seen...
wasn't quite there in 2015. Still, let's get on with the Rift. Game 1.
소환사의 협곡에 오신 것을 환영합니다.
All right, here we are, ladies and gentlemen, onto the Rift for game number 1. I mentioned making his way over, only level 5, but still dangerous.
I'm sure there's a word for when it's not actually alliteration, but it sounds like alliteration.
Alliter-homification.
I'm sure there's an actual word for it. I'm sure there is.
Yeah, maybe it's still an alliteration.
No, it isn't. I'm sure there's a specific word for when it sounds like it. It's
Chat,
a thing.
Is it a thing? Let us know. Viper is taking a little bit of damage here. That is going to be because securing the dragon is just going from objective to objective. As Dogdom going to come down and help him out here. He's got a bunch of these chakrams built up.
They can't
be able to take this one down.
Contest this. I feel like KT could just get all 3.
Well, Peanut is going to at least move in. There's the wall being put down as Viper could be in a little bit of trouble. Delight's running the wrong way, only level 5 as BDD flashes. Teleport in though from ZEUS as Delight is down solo. First blood goes to Dogdom. Equalizer goes to Narnia though, and that means that now Viper is able to get one back. Way gonna be the next one, and it's a double kill for the YUNARA. It is an absolute disaster. After it looked great for KT, it then wasn't.
All that gold onto Viper, such a big boon. He just hit level 6 before that fight started and able to get so much damage down. The focus from KT was on Delight and really focused in return not to go after Peanut.
Yeah, an optimistic maneuver there as Perfect going to try and light him on fire, but realizes that it is a little bit scary and dark in the area.
Yeah, KT will still get the objective. You know, they got the 2 grubs at least. We'll see if they can get the 3rd. But having that and the dragon, pretty positive. But it's just the fact those 2...
Then maybe it's allowed. Yeah, okay. Thanks, G-Sun. Okay, we don't like the socks idea.
Okay, socks is not approved. This
Yep.
is the first time we've had an idea not approved, so that means they love tempo vibes.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point. So do KT as they take themselves a double dragon here. There's the exhaust onto Peanut. Double knockups come through his way. Welcome back to the LCK, my friend, but they are going to be able to trade for Delight as well. Zeka now looking for a rune prison, connects it there onto Peanut. Perfect, sorry, who just wants to get out, and they'll be able to do so as BDD just shows them the wall. And says we are done. Hex gates to come through as it's a Hextech Soul this game. Blastcone will be able to get ZEUS in here. There is a turret still available. Yeah, okay.
This is vibing.
Yep. Wait, just going to be able to hook him up. Connects the anchor there, but the ram is now going to come down. Flashes out of the way as he isn't then able to activate the ultimate. As now Peanut just getting smashed around. Cuz with the ulti, able to keep himself alive as Dogdom walking back into the fray. Seismic Shove is so good as both of the supports just come back to die again. They are speedrunning to the Rune King on an on-hit champion. It's a good idea. As, all right, the ram gonna come on through as, yeah, perfect. You can see that equalizer. That wasn't for the fight. That was to just kill the minions, and it didn't do that.
Pretty good ult from ZEUS. I think helps when he doesn't flash it. Okay, I'm sorry, that was hard. But yeah, no, it's good ult. Ease to get in closer range to follow up on it, and they do take out Perfect pretty swiftly. Given more objectives over to KT, though, which doesn't feel super great.
Yeah, it will still mean feats of strength likely to go over to HLE, as you can see there. Upgrading some of them shoes. Yeah, as the first turret does go down.
ZEUS still only has the Brown the level up because it upgrades your laser damage. And he doesn't have that yet. The Dragon's being started. They're going to have to set up for a fight.
I mean,
Peanut's flanking.
This is double Dragon. The KT has, so this will be sole point as the Ram's going to come down. That's a single knock-up, and ZEUS is just in amongst it. They're looking to try and take down Doctor, but he is able to stay alive and perfect. Takes out Zeka. Peanut is spinning for some reason. And now the wall comes down. Peanut with that clone, and BDD knows exactly what's going on. He's read him like a book, of course, from the King Zone days. Knows exactly what he's doing.
Looking for resets here because Dr. and Wei are so low.
He's going to get started up here. It's just one lone dragon. As we were thinking about a Hex Gate option, as KT not going to be able to get Cuz in there. And they lose the dragon here as the fight likely split up. As Delight, you can see it. He really wanted to turn. But instead, HLE on the Otacon. As the push-in is going to continue here. Doctor does have some long-range weapons with that Calibrum employed. But HLE wrapping around, looking for some angles, and perfect. Kind of out in no man's land, a dangerous place to be.
KT making a considered effort for this mid-tier 1.
Yeah.
Viper's just pushing bot. You know, they're trying to lean towards Sadakan, but they might end up losing their mid-tier 1 in return. It's really hard to defend here. I think this is gone.
Yep, that is just going to be taken down. 3 grubs there for KT as well, but Otacon might be the trade. This is going to take a long time to go down, but Zeka can Realm Warp over if he is caught out. Still, Perfect going to be moving in. They do get the information that this Otacon is going to be taken. ZEUS on a decent flank angle as well. They're clearing out as much vision as they possibly can. Now the Ram comes in as Delight with the ultimate already popped. The Equalizer is down on top of Viper as Peanut and Viper are committing to this Otacon, which will be taken, but Delight is going to be sacrificed. Down goes Zeka as well. It's a double kill for the Aphelios. The rest of HLE have grouped up. This dragon's gone. They are just now going to look to move over towards this Baron to try and trade it, but it's way too slow. As the dragon is already gone, now Wei is moving in, finds an anchor. As the Baron down to 50%, HLE, are you turning or are you burning or are you leaving? And the answer is leaving. So with the fact that, you know, Delight can go in, start fight, Cyclone on top of it. There is, speaking of the Cyclone, but it's on the Cuz. And he's so durable, has the ulti already. The Equalizer placement, kind of fantastic. The double shove connects as Wei flashes over. But then Cuz has to immediately get out. Wei's just on his own. Double knockups, gorgeous there from ZEUS. And they've taken down 2 already. Doctor trying to do the damage. Viper says, nope, you are not allowed to do that. And HLE destroy 2, and now they'll take the Baron.
Yeah, that'll be enough. Managing to start the engage. It's a little messy, little scrappy, but HLE do enough damage. Viper in particular is shredding, very scary. And that will earn them the Baron they were going for.
Feels like
eventually
KT,
the payoff is there.
Yeah, KT just stayed out on the map for too long. I think they probably had a bit of money to spend, and unfortunately, just hadn't reset.
Okay, that was funny though. But yeah, Baron on the side of HLE, big advantage, but I think KT being 1 away from Hextech Soul is still a dangerous position. So HLE need to get a lot of this Baron. They are looking for this bot lane tier 2, and a big influx of gold from that.
Yep.
But, you know, this Ornn, this Alistar, they're going to be harder targets to shred through. Okay, Dragon being started. HLE, don't let it be a flip.
Yeah,
start the fight earlier, and make sure you get that. Do not let them get Soul.
Well, remember, this is also a Weaver's Wall opportunity for BDD, so he can split up this fight. In goes the Ornn, but ZEUS is just getting cooked. The knockup's gorgeous. Wei's going to be traded, but Doctor, can he stay alive? The knockup, so good! And they do manage to take him down, but Viper is chasing out Cuz. He gets into melee range, finds the knockup, and now Cuz is just running away. He's back in! The barrier is enough to save him! But my God, that was way closer than it had any right to be, and it's Hextech Soul!
Yeah, so
oh, that is a real... I apologize.
We have to factor that in.
Forgetting.
Yeah, you forgot about the Wolves.
Yeah. It was a 2 for 2 as well, I guess. All right, we're walling. There's a side shovel! The bouncy castle! That was very, very cute. Depth charge still up and available here as the Equalizer. Delight has to walk the awkward way. Great knockup, speaking of way, but it's even better on the side of ZEUS still. Doctor has so many Hurricanes. Oh my goodness, manages to snipe down the rise, but it's the Viper show in the end, and HLE, just an ace.
I feel like we just saw something we shouldn't. Just a look into what this champion can do. They just destroyed KT, Hextech Soul, who cares? The bounce house came through. and they just kind of melted them. That was disgusting.
What the heck? We need to see the replay.
Delight has TP as well. He's coming too.
Yep, double teleports are coming on in here as Delight.
There he is.
All the way behind them. But Doctom is at full health. Delight does make his way in. The knockup doesn't hit the Aphelios, but will it even matter? He finds a huge Moonlight Vigil as Peanut gets on top of him but does go down. But the same can be said for the rest of KT as Doctom was pushed out of the fight and Viper is too big.
He's just too strong. Doctom not really able to do much. Gets pushed aside, doesn't get taken down, but just not really able to help. And again, the front line of KT just can't really hold up to this damage in comparison. Well, the BDD!
What BDD?
Cancel it!
Oh my god! That was almost one of the most troll things I've ever seen. And we just saw that like weird ult flash out from ZEUS earlier today.
I was so stressed.
All right, well, the Baron is just going to be taken down, and ultimately I don't think it necessarily means very much what happened there, as Doctom is just kind of put in prison momentarily.
Okay, this was a bit goofy because Delight came in, there was a knock-up on Doctom, and he came in and tried to find the angle on him, but ended up knocking him kind of to safety because ZEUS didn't get the knock-up. But the front line just gets absolutely decimated. Peanut is...
That's going to spot Zeka out on his potential flank angle as KT, Cuz just starting to fight onto ZEUS here, is way pretty happy that the anchor misses.
Wait, Delight's coming in on a long flank.
Oh dear, this cow is well and truly out of the paddock. And BDD is pretty squishy, Cuz down to 50%. They don't know that the cow comes in, he flashes on top of Doctom, and pop goes the Aphelios! The equalizer this time is decently placed, but it does not matter. Viper is still alive, the Realm Warp, he walks out of it, I like that idea. And HLE, it has been a masterclass in how to be better in team fights every single time. And yeah, 8-0-12. Need more years, Aphelios, I'm sorry, buddy.
I mean, Delight just finding these crazy angles. First time with the TP, this time just coming out of base with the Hex Gates, finding this angle to jump Doctom, taking him out of the fight, and now perfect. This underfed Rumble, there's nothing you can do, buddy.
Yeah, well, Ram is...
Oh,
all right, well, HLE going to take down the Nexus. There is game number 1. Hextech Soul be damned. Oh, man, I love ZEUS. I love that guy so much. As that's exactly how he looked as well. Let's have a look, yeah. It was neck and neck in those damage numbers between Doctom and Viper all the way up until pretty close to the end, but...
A lane that I feel like the Nico can actually struggle into, and especially if you end up going, so the Kai'Sa was pretty obvious. Fully commit into like, we're going to try and dive the enemy backline. It's a 2-carry composition for KT. If you explode one of those carries, which you saw them do a great job of last game, the damage for KT's composition falls off a cliff. That is the goal of HLE in the 5v5. For KT, I feel like the bot lane matchup in particular, you're going to have a sizable advantage. If you can really put the pain on Viper and Delight, that momentum can carry you forwards. You know, you are going to have this super bulky front line you can play around. I'm just a little concerned because we saw many times before difficulty dealing with like flanks from Delight, you know, situations where...
Yeah, get another Rift game too.
소환사의 협곡에 오신 것을 환영합니다.
Ooh, HANWHA fans in full voice today, but the KT fans, you can feel that air of desperation.
Situation where
Barrier is going to get popped here. Heal as well. Deadly Flourish is going to connect though, and now the Troll King has made his way forward. Viper is just dead. 4th shot to the noggin, and Doctom, I would vote yes. Delight is minioning his way forward as life cannot get any worse. Here for Perfect. He has to flash, and he flashes into the snare. Viper collects a kill for himself at the same time. Kai'Sa is on a huge winning streak, and maybe this is foreshadowing.
I want to watch the replay because I want to see the timing on that read.
It did look like he read the flash, right?
I mean, he definitely read the flash, but it felt like he threw like well before the flash.
Oh, and then it was just a flash into it.
No, but like he just read it so well. It felt like it was such a good read on exactly where it was going to end up. Which
as vision is getting cleared out, but Banana Brush control going to be there for KT. As the pillar goes down, the Light could be in a little trouble, but there is the Cataclysm. Pop Blossom onto 2, though, is big as the Killer Instinct from Viper is there, but the bullets will rain true. That's going to be a trade. Jungler for support, though. HLE probably still happy. He's perfect getting in amongst it as Delight gets a big heal, and the Deadly Flourish is going to keep him alive. Peanut just going to die. That is the Scion collecting one as ZEUS is going crazy in this fight, but Doctom even more so takes down the Aatrox, and they will be able to collect their prize. Is almost the Void Seeker to find it, but it does not happen, as it looks like they are just going to take one and then back away as Cuz did die earlier on in the fight.
Yeah, ends up a pretty scrappy fight that KT edge ahead on. Cuz gonna be back there now and can move towards it.
Zeka moving up over a lot of vision, as we can see. Delight being frustrating in the area. This captive audience is just going to annoy Zeka, but he just deals with the wave. That is going to be the focus.
A lot more kills funneled over to these 80 carries, and it feels like the theme is continuing where it is just an 80 carry-centric series. Looks like Peanut will be the one to get control of this area and pick up those 2 remaining grubs. It's not too bad overall for HLE.
Yep.
Well, they did lose
what
out.
He's going to do as Pop Blossom. Yes. Death Ray to come on through there as well as Delight getting targeted here by Doctom. Peanut taking solo. Oh my god, he's just dead. Subjugate kills him. It's a 3-man shockwave, but where is everyone else? Ox, what the heck? You are watching. I'm watching you watching. And it's another Chemtech soul as ZEUS stays alive for a long time. He was probably screaming, fight, fight, fight. But what he did there was die, die, die. 1-0-4 on this Victor. As Killer Instinct Wei is likely just dead. There he goes. Doctom is also going to get punished. Why did this happen? One more auto. He gets the barrier to keep himself alive, and then he's just dead to the Jarvan. So 1 for 2. And yeah, HLE back on the board in a pretty big way is need to break those chains, and BDD does thankfully do so.
Yeah, so one thing that's important about that was a really...
It's making me nervous, and Doctom should be nervous as well, as this turret not going to save him even a little bit. But the same thing's going to happen here to Zeka on the top side of the map. Anything you can do, I can do the same, says Kane. Don't do it. He wants the crab. And the Pop Blossom is going to find him. The immediate flash out, though, as there's the knock-up. And I think Cuz will be dead. Yep, no Subjugate going to save you there. And HLE, they set the trap, and it springs real nice.
There's the payoff, you know. They managed to get Doctom, easy target without summoners. Cuz is a follow-up, though. That trade 1-for-1 wasn't really too meaningful. But finding Cuz was enough to get them.
Oh, I've seen this play before. Doctom still doesn't have flash. As Peanut goes pretty deep, Perfect's going to turn up as Viper, oh my goodness, actually almost survives. The fully charged Q comes down, and it's BDD that gets the kill. Killing spree for the Victor. And it was almost great news, but the trade of 80 carries makes the Victor even more scary.
Yeah, the timer there, they just didn't quite have as much damage to finish it off quickly. Now, though...
Speaking of finish it off quickly, let's see whether Cuz can get on in there. As ZEUS moves over, immediately dashes out. Pop Blossom onto only 1 as Peanut has made it through. Cuz going to be the focus, does have that Subjugate and will get taken down as Delight is also dead. The Arcane Storm getting larger and larger as ZEUS trying to get himself out of here as the death rate does come on through. They're distracted by the Drake, but KT is distracted by the Aatrox. Bullets raining, and he actually collects him. Peanut is going to be able to secure the dragon, though, so HLE walk away with at least that.
This is one of the things with the Jhin coming back from death, is the fact that not only did he die sooner than Viper, but he has Ghost Blade for the extra movement speed, and Jhin can impact the fight from so much further away with his root, with his ult. So Doctom, it doesn't matter that he wasn't there initially.
But the defense from KT just looking so much better in this game compared to the last.
The redemption comes through, and that gives them the confidence to start this up. They are a tanky team, and Cuz will heal up if they finish the Adakan, so they decide to start it off. HLE, a lot of tools were invested there, and they have to try and prevent this.
Well, ZEUS coming in for a flank angle here as Perfect is relatively low. BDD is cornered off, throws down the ulti here as there's the ball. It connects onto the entire backline. Doctom, it's a decent flash, but they're falling one after the other. KT get disintegrated. It's a triple kill for Viper, and the HLE team fight in this game as well. Just better.
Delight just finds his way in. Peanuts causing a ruckus, distracting BDD, and then Nico finds the angle, finds the knock-up, and delivers a swift blow to KT.
Oh man, once again, it was close until it was over. kind of what it feels like. In the last game, I guess it felt a little closer because there were Hextech Souls being thrown around and weird stuff that was happening. But the Dragon is not something that KT are going to be fighting for. It's just going to be taken here by VIPER. No real response. 3 items already done for this Kai'Sa. And Doctor's ability to have fun in this series is over. It's just not a thing anymore.
I mean, he is just under 2 levels down. ZEUS is also 2 levels up. Comp is good at running.
That's a
They're
good
doing
point.
a lot of that right now. Not so much good at fighting in this position, so they will run away, but their base will be forfeit, at least that tier 2 tower.
Yeah, not going to be able to.
This Victor does do damage. Surviving that initial engage, though, that's going to be the big question. And stopping them from doing Baron, which is going very fast, is also a question.
Well, they need to try and get Jin into position here.
It's just gone.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to be able to do anything to answer this. They do set up the curtains, but Delight, we'll see whether he moves on over. He's going to look for the opportunity. Doctom only gets 2 bullets off. As the Baron was taken, Perfect tries to get in there, but there's the Cataclysm onto PDD. They know exactly who to target, but the flash out is immediate, and Peanut is in a lot of trouble, but there goes Doctom. No answer. Way is just going to get exploded, and VIPER just walks towards PDD. ZEUS stands in front. It's another triple for the Kai'Sa, making him double-digit kills here in this game. And Perfect's just going to get run down. He'll just be a quadra-kill hit. Never mind. It is, in fact, Peanut that locks down the ace. And that's a clean one. Baron's now in tow, and I think HLE just end the game.
Yep, I don't think there's much you can do in this situation. No one left to defend apart from Way spawning in 5. I mean, Doctom's up in 10. Can they even hold? They're so strong, so far ahead.
I mean, it's at least 2 inhibitors.
You know, it's maybe that base doesn't die right now, but
it's metaphorically dead.
Yeah.
The game is somewhat concluded, as that's always...
Finally just incidentally died.
Yeah, it's like an accidental, whoops, he's dead. As alright, Deadly Flourish is at least going to slow down Zeka momentarily, but KT, I mean, it's metaphorically over. Now it might be really over. Shockwave going to connect on top of Delight. That was cute ball delivery system. As the inhibitor goes down, down goes both of the carries. So KT completely out of damage. Now, Zeka might be dead because there is, of course, Nexus turrets, but maybe he's just capable of ignoring those as well. As even Zeka with 2.5 items is running the show here, and Way and Cuz just have to watch as their Nexus explodes. HLE looking so good here in this game against KT. Even though the early game was okay, this man on your screen right here just decides sometimes that games are over.
Yep, I think ultimately there's still some question marks around HLE, but there is not a question mark on their team fighting. They're 5v5s when they're locked in, and especially around the bot lane, pretty insane. I think Delight was finding some crazy flanks in both of these games.
Yeah.
And VIPER